Hey, I'm Adrienne Arsenault. So not long ago, I sat down and had a chat with a man named Brian Stewart, who I happen to think is a journalistic legend. Some of his most startling work was covering the famine in Ethiopia in the 80s. And it was his work with CBC that helped make Live Aid the biggest fundraising concert in history.
I'd like to introduce a video made by CBC Television.
So what the cost of covering that story was, that's all the focus of our conversation. Here's a little bit of our chat. Forever there will be one story, one place, one person connected to you. What am I talking about?
Burhan will do. Yeah.
Throughout northern Ethiopia, aid efforts are overrun by the sheer mass of the starving and the sick. Some faces stand out.
We've seen hundreds and hundreds of refugees from the famine who had been on the road for days and escaping wild hyenas and what have you. And were there, and many of them pneumonia, were sick. And out of the corner of my eye, I saw a young girl of 3 collapse and hit the pavement.
The sisters did all they could, but they had seen so many cases like this before.
No, there isn't anything we can do at this point for the child. The child will die very soon, maybe within 15 minutes.
So we took final shots, and I left her so she could die in dignity. Hours later, our crew had been shaken by this. We went back to see the burial, and we saw this cluster of people in the feeding center, and they all had smiles on their face. You didn't see smiles in Ethiopia at that time. And we went there, and the nurse was holding the child in her arms, and everybody was smiling, weeping.
Sister, we may have had a bit of luck this morning, did we?
Yes,
Possible.
she's had an injection. She's had some rehydration fluid, and hopefully she will survive.
That was the beginning of a saga of Burhan will do.
We made one special detour.
Much better, right?
As for the future, one would like to be hopeful, but life will not be easy for anyone here in coming years.
At some stage, our wonderful editor, Colin Dean, had put together a link of images, which is what we're talking about, images of horror, images of children starving, freezing in this horrible situation. And during Live Aid in 1985, they weren't getting much money halfway through. They decided to play this CBC strip of video.
I'd like to introduce a video made by CBC Television. Please send your money in.
At the end was Burhan's face. People were crying in the stadium. People across the world were responding. Staggering amounts of money poured in. She was called back again in 2005 for Live Aid 2, really. She was on stage singing with Madonna.